Hey there, it's Linda, and I finally finished my 2022 Week in the Life album. This album is so thick, it barely closes, but I'm just so happy to have this album completed. This album did not really come together the way that I expected, but I will explain that as I go through it. If you would like to see a process for anything in this album, I do have a separate video walking through my entire process, and I will link that right now. Also, I have another video that talks about my plan for this album prior to the documenting week occurring. So you can see that video to see kind of what I was intending to do, because I'm not really going to go through that too much in this video so that it doesn't take too much time. And I will link that one right now as well. So this album was from the 2021 release. And I just added some alpha stickers here that were from the Basics collection from Ali Edwards. Almost all of my products in here are from Ali Edwards unless I specify otherwise. And then I'm just gonna jump right in. So you can see this is extremely thick, so I didn't make a cover page. Instead, I just added this over here and I used red line tape to adhere this down. This Week in the Life circle was from the 2021 main kit. For 2022, I did not buy a lot of products. Instead, I focused on using up my stash. So a lot of the products, while they are from Ali Edwards, you will see they are older products. And then the numbers and this label were from December Daily. The dividers were one of the few things I did pick up this year. They were 10 by 8 and I cropped them down to fit in the 6 by 8 album. And then I used an extra piece in divided page protectors each day. I followed a formula each day that you will see as I go through here. I made these dividers. I used a stamp set here that I believe is from Paper Person Shop. And then on the back, I put a circle photo each day. As I'm working through the album, you will see I looked for certain things each day, like a circular photo to go right here, that I call a scavenger hunt. And that's kind of the focus for my album. I also am very focused on myself rather than other people, because this is the story of a week in my life. For each day, I started out the day with a photo looking down towards my feet. For Monday, I was watering my apple trees, and I wrote the day of the week using a Procreate and my Apple Pencil on my iPad. The second page is always my journaling for the day. For my journaling, I typed it out on vellum, and I adhered it on top of white paper that I added highlighting for a color of the day. So I selected a color each day and I kind of used that for my embellishments when I could. And then these hearts came in the vellum pack for 2022, which is one of the few embellishments that I did purchase this year. And I used almost the entire pack. And then I stitched it down with black thread in my sewing machine. I'm not thrilled how these pages came out, but I don't hate them. Then I did these pages where I stamped out this is and then the day of the week, and I put one of the vellum squares and 3 photos. For Monday, it's laundry day, so I included the laundry one and then 3 photos that related to that story. I had these 3 by 8 cards that came in the 2021 collection, and I hadn't used them, so I decided to distribute them through the album one per day and try to go with one that fit the color of the day. So Monday is red. And for this one, I used photos to show my espresso machine and my steamer for my morning coffee. Then every day I included an outfit of the day photo, and I found these puffy stickers in my stash. They were extremely old, and I just wanted to use them up, so I included one on my outfit of the day each day. And then I go with a divided page protector, and this is where I added one of the other transparencies. Originally, I had planned to maybe embellish this, but by the time I was embellishing, I was done with this project. I was ready to be completed, and my album is so thick that I had to just kind of do what I could. I added in a photo of my daily planning. I do keep a paper planner, and I spend a lot of time planning, and I know that that will switch through the years, so I wanted to document not only what my planner looks like now, but the type of tasks I'm working on and how much I actually accomplished from my list each day. In this top left pocket, I included a vellum piece, and I just stapled those in place with my tiny attacher. And then I have some 3x4 photos, some light embellishing. Next, I used a layered template that was from Ali Edwards, again from the 2021 collection, to include some screenshots from the day. I also tried to include today's front page each day and the weather. I don't think I got that every day, but most days. And then I included some photos that my daughter sent me this way rather than putting them in my other photos, usually because they were on Snapchat or because they were just lower quality or just an extra way to fit more photos in. Then each day, part of my scavenger hunt was to do a flat lay. So for Monday, I did a flat lay of all my planning essentials because Monday is when I plan out my week. So what I did for these is I laid out a white foam core board in front of my window to get some indirect sunlight, and I laid out all of the objects that I wanted to be in my photo and took that photo, and then I cropped it to be the size of the outside of the page protector, and I added a title again in Procreate using my Apple Pencil. Another scavenger hunt list item I wanted to include this year was a space in my life. So I picked 7 spaces that are important to me at this point in my life and took photos of what they look like right now. So for Monday, I did my kitchen. So I got a photo of the kitchen. I paired it with some large stamping for the title of whatever the space it was. And I used the same font or same alpha stamp there as this one that I used for the This Is Day stamping. And that alpha stamp was an older one from Ali Edwards. I believe it was from the 2020 December daily collection. And then I had some journaling about that room specifically as opposed to what happened that day. Next, I just created a layered template with 2 photos from the day, and I added a chipboard from my stash in the color of the day. Then I have a divided page protector with 4 4x6 photos just to include some additional photos. And then I'm ending the day with my vellum prompts. If you watch my planning video, you'll see more about that, but I had 2 vellum prompts per day that I initially wanted to include. Some days I do end up only including 1. Some days I do include both, just depending on what I actually found during the day during my scavenger hunt. These were originally going to be on additional inserts, but this album was too thick, so I put them on most of the days on this page, and I also added in some other photos that just didn't make it anywhere else in a layered template that I created. And then I'm ending out the day with a large photo with journaling on that photo that's just a highlight of everything that happened that day, and that is using the Procreate app again with my Apple Pencil. Now moving into Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday again is going to follow that same formula. So I'm going to go a little bit quicker. My circle photo on Tuesday was my coffee beans. Something to keep in mind is that some of these photos for my scavenger hunt, I did not capture each day, and I ended up pulling photos from other days that could have been on that day because it's all from this week. And I'm really just trying to capture what a week in my life looks like at this point in time. Starting on Tuesday, I didn't always have enough journaling to fill out 2 pages, in which case I just included an extra photo from the day. Here I go into This Is Tuesday. I tried to choose vellum pieces here that matched my color of the day. Tuesday is orange, but I tended to really have to go with something that fit sentiment-wise as well. For some of these prompt cards, they called for some journaling, and so that's the only place that I included handwritten journaling. I wanted to do most of my journaling typed, but I do like to include a little bit of handwriting. Some days I did have more than 1 outfit per day. What my original plan was to include those on a second 3x8 page protector because I don't love the full-size pages back to back. Like I like having smaller inserts, but the album was just too thick, so I needed to put it like this. Here's my divided page protector, and then my layered template with my screenshots. My flat lay for Tuesday was in my purse. This is one that I did not do all the flat lays on the specific days. I just took them all within the week itself so that they were from the correct time period. And then I used them, I put 1 per day. My space for Tuesday was my cubicle, and I actually love seeing this because it's only been 2 months and I've switched cubicles, which I did have this cubicle since 2016. So I was there for a long time, but I have already moved and so much has changed. Here's some photos of me grocery shopping, loading the groceries into the car, and then making dinner. And as you can see, most of these photos are me. And a lot of that is indicative of where my life is right now, but it's also that this is my project and this is about me. You can see I'm here with my family, but the majority of my photos are just me and my day. And that's because I spend most of my day by myself. I'm in a cubicle by myself. I'm at home by myself. My daughter is 17. She has her own life. I don't know if you have been around or like seen some of my other videos, but I am going through a divorce. And so my husband was not super present because at this point in time, we were still living together and working through some paperwork and things. And so it was kind of an awkward time for me to be documenting, but I think that was also a very important time for me to be documenting because I could see all of the things in my life that were not about my marriage. And, like this one is a gratitude prompt, and a lot of that helped me during this difficult time. For Wednesday, I had a lot of outfit changes, so I included those. Moving into my divided page protector. Again, as you can see, that it's really just focused on me. And I didn't really put much in here about my divorce or anything, even though that was something that was going on in my life at this time. That is not something I'm going to forget. And that's not something that I need documented in this album because it is documented elsewhere. But this is showing what my ordinary life looked like right now in June of 2022 during this transition phase in my life. My space for Wednesday was my car. I took a photo of the outside of my car and talked about my car itself. Even though it's not really a space, it kind of fit the theme to me. Here's some stuff for me at work, the front of my office, getting ready, driving, walking with a friend at work, and then I was walking with another friend in the evening, and I forgot to take a picture of me and her, but I did take a picture of a deer that we saw. And then one of my prompts for today were reading and workout. I didn't journal about reading because there wasn't a ton to say, but there's a photo of me reading, and then here's my journaling about working out. And then for Wednesday, ending the day with my doodled photo. Moving into Thursday, one of the circle photos I really love is to take a photo of my plate. I tried really hard not to do that every day because those are just such obvious circles, but I did do it for some days. I did notice that for these photos here, I did use some that were like of the table, and I kind of feel like that would have been a fun theme to do each day, take a photo at the table, but that just kind of happened that way. It wasn't planned. Thursday, the square that I had here that was green, which is the color of Thursday, was a computer screen. So I tried to get some photos that included technology. So I had some issues with my TV. Here's my computer while I'm working from home, and here's me on my iPad in bed. Then adding in some stories on that prompt card, and then my divided page protector, just some random photos from the day. I added in some embellishments for my stash, some word phrase strips, and just some random puffy stickers and things that matched the colors. And it was a good way to use up things that were in my stash. Like this had been in my stash for years. For my flat lay for Thursday, I did everything I used to get ready in the morning. And actually I missed a few things. I forgot to put my perfume on here, and I forgot to put my purple shampoo. I think there maybe were some other things, but it's close enough. And it's still a good picture of what I use to get ready right now. My space for Thursday was my daughter's room. And that is something that changes a lot for her being a teenager. And next year when I do Week in the Life, she's going to be getting ready to move out to go to college. So I think it's something I really want documented in here, even though it isn't about me. This album's focus is on me, but my daughter, my cats, and to a lesser extent, my ex-husband are a part of that story. So they are included to the extent they are interacting with me in my life. Here's me making lunch and then serving my daughter, or she's serving herself. My cat, when he sits outside my shower, I always like to grab this photo for Week in the Life. I'm getting ready. I do have a lot of fun during Week in the Life with my photography. So here, like I took a photo where you can see my coffee, and then in the background, you can see kind of what's going on. My daughter at the table going through some snacks and a goodie bag she got, and then my cat. And I just like that, just having fun playing with photography. My daughter in her room, and then my stories here were my breakfast. And then I wrote a story about my daughter's stuffed hamster. That is just a thing that I see sitting around the house. So this is just a photo I took of just like a detail of life, just a little thing, and her hamster and her phone. And then ending the day again with my words. And these I think are my favorite pages that came out in this entire album. I absolutely love them. Moving into Friday, this was the circle photo I wanted to capture all week, and I was so thrilled that I got it. Friday morning, walking downstairs, getting ready for work at 5:59 a.m. I like seeing my watch, what my watch looks like, what time it is, the date is on there, and you can see what I'm wearing. My Friday journaling. Some photos here were from our dinner. We went out to dinner. And then here's so this one was thank you. So I put some things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for work walks and my friends at work. I'm thankful for Advil because I had a headache, and I'm thankful for my right to vote. Here's me voting. Here's my outfit. And then for this prompt card, it had morning, afternoon, and evening. So I use this as an opportunity to include a few more photos from the day that fit those time frames. Here's my divided page protector. You can see towards the end of the week, my journaling or my planner gets a little sparse because I'm so busy, and that's totally fine. I added a puffy sticker here for my stash, and just, adding little bits of embellishments here and there. Most of the photos are left unembellished. For a week in the life, that just kind of works for me. I don't want a lot of embellishing. I focus more on the words in the photos, but adding a few things in really does help. Here I have my two prompts, dinner, and my daily routine of planning. Now moving into the weekend. So for the weekend, I had more photos and I had a hard time cutting it down. So you will see I do go off of my formula a little bit, but that's okay. I kind of go back to my original formula. So for Saturday, I do have more outfit photos, and then I only had 2 and I had this extra spot, so I was able to fit in an extra photo of my cat. Saturday, my color was purple, and I have a really hard time finding embellishments in purple. Like, there just aren't any. So that is something that I know I've heard that before, that scrapbooking companies don't make a ton of purple because people don't like it. But for whatever reason, like, you do need some purple, and there's just none. One of my stories, my prompt cards, was an unexpected story. So I told the story of just happening to find a desk chair and getting it when I've been needing one for such a long time. So my original plan was to have these prompts on these smaller pages and then paired with the layered template here. So I'm following that original formula here. My divided page protector, my layered template with the phones, and my flat lay. My space for the day was my craft room. And then the second one of those prompts, which is the snack and what I'm snacking on right now. Some additional photos from the day. And then what my original plan was to have one last layer template with a variety of photos. So what I did was I created this. I just put some black rectangles on a canvas in Photoshop Elements and then clipped my remaining photos into those shapes. And then there was a little spot here, which I left for some embellishing. Again, struggling to find anything purple. And then that's the end of Saturday. Then moving into Sunday. Sunday, I had a lot more journaling. I haven't talked about this yet, but I do use a prompt each day. And for Sunday, I just use timestamps. Some of the prompts are easier to journal than others. Timestamps is very easy, so that one ended up going the full 2 pages. For my Sunday, this is page, I had this vellum piece that was like some stuff for getting ready. So I tried to find photos getting ready in the morning. So here's me doing my hair, making my coffee, and planning out my day. For this prompt page, it was some currently lists, so I filled those in. For these ones that I had like this bolder writing, I used an acrylograph pen from Archer and Olive. I just love how bold they are. What I don't love is when you're writing on paper like this that's not super smooth, sometimes they kind of like leak a little bit, but the color is so vibrant. Here's my outfit of the day, Sunday. It's the only day I forgot to take one with my shoes, but it was close. And then my planning, going in some photos, we went out to lunch. Me and my daughter, we did some volunteer work, so I have some photos from that. One of my prompts for this day was just home. And so I just had a photo of me in my craft room, which is just kind of me at home. And I didn't want to add any words and I paired that with a layered template. For these ones, sometimes I did 2 photos that went together. Other times I didn't. Here I did, we were at to lunch, them looking at the menu, and then them getting their food. Here's my layered template again for the phone screens. And then because it's Sunday, I decided to like do like the ending things. So I did my bedtime essentials for my flat lay. And then an overview for my space was just my home, because I did want to include a photo of the front of my home and what it looks like right now, and some journaling about my house and how long we've lived here and that kind of stuff. And then I did some cleaning here, me doing chores. So I have my prompt here was chores. The color for Sunday was pink, which I do have a lot of pink embellishments, so I had fun adding some of those. This one that said bliss, I was using up this really old pack of puffy stickers. I'm very thrilled I was able to do that. And with my cat here in his taco truck, just worked perfectly. I had so many photos on Sunday, so instead of doing a 4x6 photo here, I decided to make a photo collage of 4 photos from when we did some volunteer work, so I could include more of the story. And then here I did another layered template. I really love these 2 photos of my daughter together, so I liked pairing them together and kind of use that to build the template around it. And then finishing off the day with my final journaling photo, a photo of my cat yawning that was just timed perfectly, that I love. So that is how my Week in the Life album turned out for 2022. This album is way fatter and way more time. It took way more time than I expected it. I thought it was going to be simple because I knew I was going through a divorce. I didn't think I would have a lot of stories. So I put a ton of things on my scavenger hunt list, and I think overdid it. Next year, I think I'm going to simplify a little bit, but I had so much fun documenting this and putting it together. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed my process and everything. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.